That's why over the next 3 years, working in close cooperation with the United States Congress, we plan to commit $55 billion in Africa.
This video is brought to you by the Officer Tatum Store. The Officer Tatum Store, ladies and gentlemen, get the merch link in the description section. It's actually also in the carousel too. At the carousel under the video, you can always purchase some merch from there. But we got the Biden who stole Christmas, which is funny. And I knew America hoodie, Godfidence is what I got on right now. So we got a couple Godfidence shirts, Awake Not Woke. We still got some of our Joe Biden happy Easter videos, which is absolutely hilarious. And we got other stuff coming soon. John 3:16 is coming soon. Just so you guys know, we have exclusive discounts for people who are in the military. If you're a first responder, if you're a nurse, if you're a teacher, a student, if you're 55 and older, a truck driver, if you're low income, which means you're on fixed income or you are on food stamps or whatever, we have 30% off for life on our store, or at least while you're struggling, because we want to help. Like and subscribe to the channel. Hit the bell so you get notifications anytime I go live, make a video. Make sure you still subscribe to this channel, like this video, comment on this video, share this video. It's looking at this article as it says, "My nation's original sin. Biden offers Africa $55 billion, gets mocked by African leader." I think we have a clip of that.
That's why over the next 3 years, working in close cooperation with the United States Congress, we plan to commit $55 billion in Africa to advance the priorities we share and to support the Agenda 2063. That number represents a comprehensive commitment from the United States to invest in Africa's people, Africa's infrastructure, Africa's agriculture, Africa's health system, Africa's security, and more.
Now, the virtue signal is vicious because you're talking about the biggest continent on planet Earth. What part of Africa? You're going to get 55 billion. Is some of that going to go to South Africa? Or is it going to go to Cameroon, Africa? You tell me, what part of Africa are you going to give $55 billion to? Well, they correct me, say Asia is the largest continent. Maybe I disagree. But, well, I would argue that the most resourceful continent, the most unique continent on planet Earth is the continent of Africa. I think there's no continent that's in every, would it be every hemisphere, or it has the, you have parts of Africa on the equator, you have parts of Africa in the north, the south, the climate. You get every single climate change on the continent of Africa, which is very unique in any other continent in the world. But it's a big continent, many countries, many different people. And like, I would think, see, that's why I think these people are just, they don't have a soul. If I came out, and maybe I could be missing his full speech, but if I came out and made mention that I was going to do things for the continent of Africa, I would give a couple examples. Well, I'm going to do some here. I'm going to do some here. We're going to do some here. This is what the need is here. But you can give 55 billion to South Africa, and that'd be it. Or you get 20 billion of South Africa and then spread the rest of it. And then there's a lot of African countries that are corrupt as a mother. Some of these countries, they got leaders that are worth billions of dollars and the people are poor as I don't know what. Which countries are you going to give to? And then it goes on to say in the article, it says the move by the U.S. to become more involved in Africa comes after falling behind intense efforts by Russia and China to expand their influence on the continent, according to the New York Times. Biden mentioned slavery during his dinner, saying, "We remember the stolen men and the women and children who were brought to our shores in chains, subject to unimaginable cruelty. My nation's original sin was that period." He continued, "We honor their descendants who our generations have for generations have helped build this country and propel it to higher heights, leading the charge, blazing new trails, and forging a better future for everyone in America. Rwandan President Paul Kagame, I think that's how you say it, was asked if the 2014 summit with President Barack Obama yielded concrete results for the continent. And this is what he said. Well, at least we had a good meeting, he responded, as those in attendance reportedly laughed. Now, let's take this into consideration, because there's a lot more in this article that I could talk about and go over. But if you look at it for what it is, we should be clear in the virtue signaling. Like, I just don't understand. It makes me so mad to even think about it. These people have such a platform to just spew stupidity. Do you think every slave was stolen? I would argue the theft of slaves to bring them here to our shores were rare. There was what we call the Atlantic slave trade. This was a practice created by Africans who conquered people and enslaved them and sold them to the white man, and they put them on the boat. You somehow think the Africans watching the white man put them slaves on a boat at the bottom, stacking them like sardines? You think they didn't know what was going to happen? You think that they knew how far they were coming? You think that they believed that somehow they getting on a ship and they're like riding on a cruise ship to the Americas? They saw them in chains, putting them on the bottom of the boat. They know that people were dying on the way over there. They didn't give a F. I'm sick of people lying and trying to make it out to seem like the original sin was us. The original sin were Africans. It just makes me upset. Our people's original sin. Africa needs to pay $55 billion to its own people. Maybe Africa should pay money to the Americans of African descent. You the one sent us here. You should pay. Wait, I'm gonna tell you how stupid our government is. I'm trying not to get crazy. You know how stupid our government is? You got black people dying right here in America. You got black boys uneducated right here in America. You got black people that don't have opportunities that can use a hand up right here in America. And you give $55 billion to the continent of Africa somewhere. You know how stupid that is? You go and you get Brittany Griner out of prison in Russia for a marijuana charge, and you got people right here in America doing time. Even if it wasn't the primary charge, they still got arrested. It's still on a record. Quit being a effing hypocrite. God dog it, I want to cuss. And people are stupid enough to eat it up. Oh, Biden is going to give $55 billion to. Bro, what's our budget? What's our military budget? All right. Our military budget is way more money than this. And what, you're going to spread it out to every continent, every country in the continent of Africa? I mean, $55 billion ain't finna go nowhere. If it's going straight to the leaders, ain't going to the people, how are you going to help them? It just bothers me that he got on there and said Brittany Griner was illegally, like, words and facts matter. Brittany Griner was illegally held. No, she broke the law and pled guilty. You can still get her home and not lie about it. Even if you wanted to support Africa, you don't have to go back in our original sin. Shut up with that. Just go help them. Military budget, $722 billion. That's our military budget. And he giving less than that to a continent. It's all virtue signaling. It's all virtue signaling. You can just go help them. You ain't got to bash our country. You ain't got to lie about the legacy of slavery. You don't have to do none of that. Just go help them if you want to help them. But then again, don't sit there and lie and act like you're doing something honorable to help Africans when you don't even help African Americans. Put $55 billion in efforts to give these schools that are low performing. Go just rebuild the school, get new curriculum, pay the teachers more. It'll cost less than $1 billion. Just imagine if 55 black schools, underperforming schools, got $1 billion apiece, which it don't take that much. But if they did, how many black people in America you could help? It's all virtue signaling. Hold the phone. I'll be back after the break.